Hello everyone, Jules here. Today I'd like to talk about 3 books, and they are all about cartomancy. And cartomancy is a word for divining by cards. And the first book is Cartomancy by Alessandro Bellenghi. And this is a great book. If you can get a copy, it's really worth it. It is probably out of print, but if you can get a second-hand copy, it's really worthwhile. As you can tell by the cover, it has a traditional or Marseille type of deck on the cover. And this book is not only a good book because it has a very interesting first chapter about the history of the Marseille and playing cards in general. But the rest of the book is about the meanings for the cards of the Marseille or traditional type decks. But it also equates the minor arcana with playing cards, which is a very good idea and a good introduction to people who want to know more about playing cards and how they relate to traditional tarot cards. And it's also a good introduction for people who are interested in working with not only traditional or Marseille decks, but if they are curious about learning how to divine with playing cards. So this book is really useful in that way. It's got some really interesting information, and it's also got some very original spreads in this book as well. So this is a really good book, and I think it's the best book of its kind that I have seen. So this is Cartomancy by Alessandro Bellenghi, and I'll put the details under the video for anyone who's interested. And this does have coloured pictures in here as well, and there's even a tree of life or Kabbalah diagram in here too. So it's really worthwhile getting this one if you can. The next book is related to the first book, The Power of Playing Cards by Geri, Sullivan and Saffi Crawford. This is a more recent book, and this book is playing cards, and it has its own spread in here, which is based on astrology and planets. So it's a very interesting alternative for people who are interested in learning about playing cards and divination. And you will learn a bit about basic astrology from this book as well. But it's a very interesting book in the way that it does have its own planetary spread in this book that you can use for all of the cards in the playing card deck. So it's quite an interesting book, because when you start looking at playing cards on their own, as far as divination is concerned, you'll be able to see a relationship with the tarot, and you'll also be able to look at this in a different way when it is paired with planets in the spread that's in this book. So if you are interested in playing cards and learning a bit more about that for divination, this is quite an interesting and fairly accessible book. So this is The Power of Playing Cards by Geri, Sullivan and Saffi Crawford. And the last book is by Jonathan D. And this book is very interesting as well. The 2/3 of the book is about playing cards. It has information in regard to tarot in this book as well. He talks a bit about the Golden Dawn. And the last third of the book is about Lenormand cards. So this book is also very interesting in learning about playing cards and divination, and also how this relates to tarot as well. And I also think the chapter or last third of the book about the Lenormand cards is very interesting as well, because he also matches that up with playing cards. So this book is also worthwhile if you can get it. This book might be out of print like the first one, but you should be able to get another copy fairly easily on Amazon. So this is Fortune Telling with Playing Cards by Jonathan D. And I'll put all the details below the video as usual. So I hope people found that interesting, about learning more about cartomancy, the divination using playing cards and how that relates to tarot and traditional Marseille decks. So thanks for watching. Bye for now.